Welcome back to part 3 of the pen collection. So we are now on the other side of the desk in another drawer, and this is I think this will be quicker because I have more collections of pens. So without further ado, let's get started. In this basket, I have all of my Friction pens. So when I bought these are old. This style, they all came as one set. And then I bought a set of these markers, and these are, I think, the best erasable pen, and obviously it comes in a ton of colors. Oh, I also have a slim, where are you? I think I won this. The slim retractable, one's kind of cool. But these are great if you're looking for an erasable pen. I think these are fantastic for kids, so they can use a pen and they have lots of different color options, but it erases. Would I purchase all of these again? No, I don't need all of these, but I don't think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I think they're a great pen. I just don't need all of these. I'm thinking of giving these away, but then I'm like, they're used and they're old, but they still work. Would anybody want these? I don't know. Leave a comment below if you think people would want these in a giveaway. They work. I wouldn't send them ones that didn't work, but they're used and they're old. Which kind of leads me to this pen graveyard bag, which we'll talk about in a minute. Over here in this basket, these are all my mild liners. These are great, just markers. Some of them are highlighters. Some of them I think are just markers because of the colors. But they have interesting colors, and they have a chisel tip on one end, a pointed tip on the other end. I think they're a little expensive for what they are. I think there's a lot of hype around them, but they're nice, and I probably would buy them again if I probably would buy them again, or I might give another brand a shot. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great. This is my basket of highlighters, and so I have a collection in there. Let's look at the collection. So I've got Friction highlighters, and would I repurchase these? Probably not. I didn't really care for the highlighters that Friction came out with. Maybe they're better now. These are super old. But it is cool if you need an erasable highlighter. There's nothing wrong with them. They just weren't my jam. These Sharpie highlighters are really cool. I like them a lot. You can see they have a clear tip so you can see where they're highlighting. Obviously, I use this one a bunch, and I would repurchase these. These are really nice. I like them. Nice and bold. I had a whole set of these. Don't know where the rest of the set is, but these are the Tech Surfer Classics. Really like these. These are really nice. They don't smear very much. I've got a few of them in here. I seriously have no idea where the rest of them are. I had every color, a whole set. There's some more Friction highlighters in here. And, oh, these I loved. And so, yeah, the rest of them got used up. These were the Cura Rich glitter highlighters. I loved these. The ones that are missing, I just used up. I think there was a purple one, a pink one, a yellow one, and then these two. I think this green one's on its last leg. These are fantastic. They're so glittery, and they are such great highlighters. Would buy these again 1,000 times over. In fact, those might be the only highlighters I would buy again. No, who am I kidding? These Sharpie gel highlighters are awesome. So I think that these are great for students because they don't smear or they're not wet. They're kind of almost like chapstick, but not as like greasy or is. I don't know how to describe these, but they're really cool. It's just a hard highlighter, and I have not found that they dry out at all, and these are years old. The students found them novel. That's the best way to say it. Where did I get these? I think my brother bought these back for me from Japan. These Just Fit. What's the brand? I have a video on them where I unbox them. I know I do. Zebra Just Fit. They have a chisel end and they have a pointed end. These are fantastic. They are super vibrant and bold. I really like these. If they had glitter in them, they would be the best highlighters, but they don't. So these are really good. I definitely would recommend these. These are fantastic. And the last ones that I have in here, I did a review. These are the Sweet Taper to Pure. I don't remember how to say it, but they're scented. These are very, very faint. So if you're looking for a very faint pastel kind of highlighter, these are good, but I would not buy these. When I want a highlighter, I want it to highlight things. I should get another set of those Kira Rich ones. Those were my favorite. So again, I'd be willing to share some of these highlighters with people if they wanted a used old highlighter that still worked. It's so weird to even say that. In this little section, I have all of my mechanical pencil things, accoutrements, and erasers. So this is a little dust eraser for your desk. It really works. I used this at school and it was kind of just novel, but it also actually worked. So the kids really liked it. The teenagers. So all I have in here are just random pencil leads. Some of these are pencil leads from when I was a kid. It's been an addiction for a long time. I think only now I've curbed my addiction because I have a child and I need to spend money on the child. But I have all different kinds of leads. There's so many in here. It's a problem, right? And I consolidated a bunch of these last night. I've got some replacements for my Palominos. What else? Okay, talking about the addiction. I took piano lessons starting when I was like 4, 5. And my teacher used to give me prizes, like every so often. I don't even remember for what. Wendy was her name. I played the piano for years, and then I played the harp. I cannot open this with one hand. This was one of the prizes I got. I could have chosen so many different things, but of course I chose an eraser because it was an office supply, stationery product. You can see I used a little bit of it. It's still actually really soft. I have had this eraser for like 32 years. I think it's that old. It has the little piano on it. I used to have the piano bookmark, but it broke actually just recently that I got from Wendy. And then I just have some more erasers in here. So all different kinds, the little kinds, the big kinds, whatever. Whatever you need, I've got it, I'm sure. This is my collection of capped tiny Inkjoy minis. They're a 1mm. They're nice. They're kind of fun. Would I purchase these again? No. I might try the little retractable ones, but it's a 1mm line and it's a little thick for my liking, I think. Probably 7 is about the highest I want to go. And usually I have 5 and below, but this is just a ton of pocket knives and a couple of random things, but office supply wise. So a glue stick, and these are really cool. These are scissors. Got these from JetPens, and they work really well, especially in a pinch. So if you need to put them in a pencil case and it just needs to fit like a pen, these are perfect. And those are just USB drives and things. Anyway, getting back to the pens. In this section, I have my Sakura Jelly Rolls, and I have the silver and the gold. There's a couple more in there, but I have those. And then I also have my set of Marvy Le Pens. The Jelly Rolls, when I purchased those again, I don't have a need for them. I don't ever use them. Very rarely do I use them. And they take forever to dry, and then they still smear. They look really cool with the silver and the gold glitter in them, but the variation is not. I'm a little not disappointed, but I expected more variation in the color and the way it turned out. These are years old and they still work, so I don't know if they've come out with a better formula since then. I just wouldn't repurchase them, but there's nothing wrong with them and they're really pretty. I just don't really have a need. I love the Marvy Le Pens. They're bright and they have lots of colors and they're super fine tipped. I would buy the Marvy Le Pens again, definitely. These are the Crayola Super Tips, and I use these a lot with the little girl that I tutor, I make a lot of her stuff with them. They're just fun, and they're fun to color with. I have lots of colors. Also, I have Staedtler fine liners, Tri-Plus fine liners. And fine liners, I have like the fine tip and the thick tip. I have the full set in a different drawer. Great for coloring and things. Would repurchase those, would repurchase these if you're in the market for just a marker set. They look like that. I know a lot of people use these for like calligraphy. I don't have those kinds of skills, but I think that they're just fun to use when you need to make flashcards, whatever. That's what I'm using them for. So in here is the random and sentimental pen collection. So this is not sentimental, but this is just a generic permanent marker. I got this out of my husband's work bag. Don't know if I'd repurchase it because I didn't purchase it. These I have had since I was a teenager. They are the Staedtler Calligraph Duo. So they have chisel tips, and I think it's 3.5 and a 2.0 millimeter, one on each side, and they came in a set: blue, black, green, red, purple. They still work. They're really cool. They were fun to write with. I wouldn't repurchase them because I have no need for them, but if you would like to try calligraphy, and I think they were inexpensive, but that was a really long time ago. Inflation, so I can't guarantee anything. This is my laser pointer from when I taught. Okay, so now we're getting into not all sentimental, but some of it. God, I threw away a lot of pens last night. There was way more pens in here, and it did not look this nice. Bic Crystal, love them. I don't need to keep all of them over there, so extra is over here. Pilot Precise V5 retractable. This is a very, very nice, again, needlepoint pen. I would highly recommend these if you're just in the market for a needlepoint, and it's like a liquidy line, liquid ink. Which brings me to these. These are sentimental. I have had these since I was a little kid. Remember that piano teacher? So she used to write in my practice book with these pens, and that's when I first saw them. And I had a set. I don't know where the other ones are, but these pens are seriously like over 30 years old, and they still write, and they're like super sentimental to me, so I'm just going to keep them forever. I'm sure that they make these now, but they don't look like this, I don't think, and these are extra fine, so I was in love with the extra fine like from the time I was a child. This is not a sentimental pen, it's just a Pilot Razor Point, but it's a good pen. Again, if you're in the market for a needle tip, this is nice, although it does have that mashable squash. You can squash down the end of it. So I prefer the ones that have the hard metal tips. Okay, these pens, I was so excited I found two of these last night. They're Liquid Mark Note Writer 1000s. These are just fantastic, fine felt tip black pens. And I used to use these all the time when I was student teaching. The school that I was student teaching at had these in the supply closet. I can't believe I still have two of them because I loved these pens and I used the heck out of them. So I was really excited to find two of them last night. Would purchase those, definitely. If you just want a black felt tip marker kind of pen, would repurchase those. These are, I think, a Sanrio San X. These are Korean, and I got these when I was in college, I believe. The character is Genie Rabbit on that one. And I don't know, a little lamb. So it's a pen and a pencil set, and it's super fine tipped. They still work, and I love them. So I'm keeping these. These are sentimental part of that collection, and they've got little glitter in them, and I really like them. I don't ever use them anymore, but again, sentimental. Does anybody else have sentimental pens? Because I have like the rest of these are, I think, sentimental. Okay, so this I should throw away, but this was awesome. So when you would click it, this whole grip part would light up with a purple light. Purple is like my favorite color, so I have this. It doesn't work. I don't even know if I have any replacement parts. The grip is all yellowed. I probably should have thrown it away, but sentimental. This pen is a cross pen that I got when I was in high school. It was like my first nice pen, and it's a multi-pen. So if you turn it, it has a red, a black, and a pencil. And there's a little eraser in the top. And it's not comfortable. The refills in it aren't particularly good, but I kept it because sentimental reasons. And if you wanted a really fancy multi-pen, there you go. I think if it had better refills, this would be a nice pen, but it's not super comfortable compared to some of the other ones that I have. These cross pens, and I believe I know that they're not all pens. Something in here is a pencil. At least one of them is a pencil. These I inherited when my grandpa passed. These were all his pens, and he had them all on the desk. I think this one is a pencil, and I kept them. And oh no, this one's the pencil. You can see the tip is a little different. I haven't tried to find a refill for them. They're not necessarily my style of pen. Again, sentimental pen, and I'm just keeping them because of that reason. So this one says Cross Centennial. I wonder if they're all... That's the one that looks a little bit different. So that one's a Cross Centennial. The lighting is really bad, so I'm having a hard time reading these. But they're all cross. What did it say at the top? I don't think that you're going to be able to see that because I can barely see it. Now I want to know. Let's see if that just made it worse. Okay, well, I can't read it, but these are all cross pens from my grandpa. And what's in here? Oh, this is the Crystal 1.6 Bold. That's not sentimental, but these are. I think I got these pens when I was like 5, 6, 7. So this is from Disneyland. And so, like, you know, I've loved stationery for a really long time. See Tinkerbell, she moves up and down the pen. They don't work, but sentimental. And so she goes down the Magic Kingdom, the fireworks. And this used to be white, but it's yellowed from age and love. I used the heck out of these two. This I got when we went to the Grand Canyon. And see, they're riding their donkeys down the Grand Canyon, or their horses down the Grand Canyon. So yeah, those are my sentimental and random pens. And then the last thing that I will go over from this drawer is the pen graveyard. As I have to, you know, organize while you're here, that you didn't even want to see what happened last night. Man, that garbage can over there is so full of pens, markers. These are all refills. So refills for different pens, for those multi-pencil things, for my retros. This is just a bag of refills, some of which I threw away. This is just a bag that has some Fitbit pieces in it. But yeah, all refills. So we keep that there. And here is the pen graveyard. Now, like I said, some of them I threw away. Like, they didn't work. Or they were just complete garbage. But let's see if I can do this one-handed. These, along with the frictions, that set of frictions, I gotta put this down. I'm thinking of giving away. But my problem is, my problem is they're used. And some of them are old. And like, do people want these? I don't even know. So, a quick go through of the graveyard. This Pentel Sleechy 0.3. I'm not in love with it. I didn't care for it There's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't my thing. It's got to go. But it's almost brand new. Like, I think I just tested it and used it a couple times, and I was like, no, this isn't for me. Doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't like it. Should I give it away? These Pilot Varsities, disposable fountain pens. I went to use a blue one. This is the purple one and the green one. And I think there's a red one and a black one, and those are gone. But I went to use the blue one the other day. It looked fine until I started writing with it, and I still have no idea where all the ink was leaking from. There is still ink in these pens, but I don't need to, I don't need to use them. I have a Vanishing Point and some other nicer ones, right? Would somebody want these? They're used. This is a cross pen that I bought when I was in high school. It looks really cool. I don't care for it. I'm never going to use it again. One of my issues that I had with it, so see how it twists, is if I remember correctly, when I would write with it, it would kind of like push the refill back in the pen, and so you were constantly like fighting with keeping it twisted out. Would somebody want this? I don't know. Should I just throw it away? Should I give it away? These fountain pens. The Pilot Kakuno, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. This is meant to be a beginner fountain pen. I've used it, a few times, but, and I've cleaned it. It's maintained. I have no need to use this pen again. Would somebody want this? When I ask you these questions, I'm hoping you'll answer below in the comments. This Monteverde Paquito, super tiny fountain pen. I prefer the Pilot Petite. This one looks really cool, but I just didn't care for it, and I'm never going to use it. Would somebody want this? I didn't think the nib was that great when I used it over time. Noodler's Ahab. It's just too big. It's uncomfortable for me. I don't use it. Again, I have nicer fountain pens that I prefer. Would somebody want this? It's got, to me, the nib is not very good. It's just kind of a scratchy. I think you can buy better nibs for it, but why would I when I have better nibs? So, would somebody want this in a giveaway? The Jinhao Sparkling Sands. So I got this because I never thought I was going to get the Raiden. And it's pretty. It's sparkly. I think that the lighting is just bad. You can see that it's sparkly. It's not an expensive pen. Super heavy, super big and bulky. I don't really have a need for it. Would somebody want this in a giveaway? It's used. This stinker. This is the Kaweco Sport Ice, I think. This was the one that I did all of the work on the nib with the mesh, and it had the baby's bottom. I did finally get it to write. I can't guarantee anything with this pen. I would never, ever buy. Oh, so would I repurchase? No. Nothing. There's nothing wrong with these. I just don't need a disposable fountain pen. Nothing wrong with this. I just don't need. I have nicer ones. I would not repurchase this. I didn't like the nib. I would not repurchase this. Just too big for me. Didn't like the nib. Would not repurchase this. It's heavy. Would never repurchase this in a million years. If somebody wants this, it is like the bane of my existence. No, it's not. That's a dramatic statement. By the time I got it to work, I never wanted to use it. I was like, I hate this pen. So if you would want this pen, I would be happy to give it away to you. I can't guarantee anything on it, though. I think it's been used like one time after all the work. So I guess my question is, do you think it's tacky to offer these things in a giveaway knowing that they're used and they're old? Or do you think people, if they enter the giveaway knowing that, then who cares? Like, if it's used and it's old. If they wanted it and they want it, like, they would still like it. So I'm asking you your opinion, because if I'm going to do a giveaway, I need to do it before I start this job, because then I'm going to have a whole lot less time. And I'm not going to want to, like, mail all this stuff out. So, do you think I should do a giveaway? Yes or no? What do you think people would think about, like, used? Sometimes not the best pens. Like, seriously, would never buy this. But I mean, somebody else might like it. Anyway, some of these were more expensive than others. Some of them were really cheap. That really doesn't matter to me, because if I don't like it, I don't like it. And so I really tried to empty out the collection a little bit, and maybe I'd throw in some of the highlighters and things like that. But again, it's all used. Do you think people would want that? I don't know. I go back and forth about it. I think some people don't care. They're like, they would be on board with it, and it'd be a free pen to them, right? And they'd use it for as long as it worked or whatever, and then they'd just get rid of it. But anyway, tell me your thoughts, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen like in the next week or two, I think. So that's most of my collection, I think, at this point. I spared you the garbage that I threw away yesterday, which was an embarrassing amount. But I've got pencil cases, I've got stationery. So if you would be interested in seeing that stuff, let me know down below. If you've watched the 3 parts, I'm sure that you've got your house cleaned by now and your taxes done with me in the background droning on. Or perhaps you've been using this to help you fall asleep at night. Either way, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about any of the things that I've showed you, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the giveaway of the used, not always great pens. Or should I just throw them away? That would be the alternative. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.